Welcome to Easy Math TV. We're in part 3 of a problem that we decided to do at the end of this section on linear functions and applications. So we're dealing with a problem of supply and demand, and we're looking for the equilibrium price and quantity between the supply and demand. We've already done parts 1 and 2 of this problem. We're almost there to actually finding the solution. So if you have not watched parts 1 and 2, go back and review those, and then come back here to part 3. This is the final part. So let's just read the question one more time. The question stated, at a price of $40, there's a demand for 573 items and a supply of 320 items. When the price is $80, demand is 453 and supply is 640. So we are to assume that both supply and demand are linear, find the equilibrium price and quantity. So in this part 3 of the video, again, I'm going to ask you to try this on your own to just kind of see if you're learning how to do this stuff and see how well you're doing. Just so you know, the part 2 video, our demand equation was the quantity of demand is negative 3x plus 693. Again, x is measuring the price, okay? The supply equation was quantity of supply is equal to 8x. So where you see the word demand here, that's capital Q subscript D. And where you see supply, that is capital Q subscript S. Okay? So I hope I got them straightened. I hope that I got them in the right columns. We'll see. But see if you can set up the columns just like we have here. This is from a previous video that we did on equilibrium, and just see how you go. See how you do. And then come back. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. And as you can see, the quantity and supply, if we look at the formula that I typed in there, that is 8x. So that's equals 8 times the quantity A3, that's our price. So equals 8 times price. And I hit enter, and then I just filled down. In column D, we have the quantity and demand, which is equals negative 3 times x. Our x is in A3. So negative 3 times A3 plus 693. I just basically copied in the equation that we found for our demand equation. And notice that the first value of x that I've chosen here is 60. If you go back to part 1, we decided that we needed to focus on values of x between 60 and 70 primarily. But I actually took this as far down as it goes. So I just continued it on down. And when x is equal to 60, it turns out that the quantity and supply is 480 and the quantity demanded is 513. So that's not quite the equilibrium. But as we, the surplus and deficit column E over here, was calculated for us. And again, we are looking for a place where the numbers passed from negative to positive, and honestly, we actually have a 0 there. So when you're looking for that negative to positive jump, if we actually have a 0 in that column, then we're golden, because that's ultimately what we're really looking for, is that 0. So a 0 surplus or deficit is your equilibrium price and quantity. So basically I can go across here and recolor that in, because like I just decided that we would do that. Whenever we found our equilibrium, that I would basically change the color. And we can always go back to the original if we were doing a different problem. So to answer the question then, we just go over here, go over here into our text box, and equilibrium, let's answer the question. Equilibrium occurs at a price of $63 and quantity of 504. So it doesn't matter which quantity column you go to because the quantity should be the same. The quantity in supply should equal the quantity in demand, and that's exactly the way we want it to be. As we're producing these items, they're going out the door just as fast as they are coming into the warehouse, basically is what that means. So we've answered our question, and it only took hopping from one spreadsheet to another that we already had configured for problems like this. And so we didn't have to really come up with a new spreadsheet. We were just using the existing ones. We needed to use two different ones together. That's the only thing that was new about this problem. So like, subscribe, comment down below. We're going to continue our series, and we're going to continue learning more about business math. There's going to be new topics as we go forward, but, hopefully you're enjoying the content and hopefully you're getting something out of it. Thank you. See you in the next video.